right, so let's do like most other people, Dan, and get into the Burbs.
Nice. By the way, I love that movie. So today's thumbnail is just, if you guys haven't seen it, you need to check out the thumbnail. It's so good.
We were proud of the thumbnail. Me and Matt worked hard on that. I actually told Matt at one point, I was like, all right, Matt, you got 10 minutes. See how fast you could do it. And he like sent it to me in 2 seconds. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty fast.
All right. You're good. You're
all
good.
right.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, there we go. The Burbs. Duh. So this one kind of goes along with, we have another one for new home sales that's Ray's going to hit the an historic apology, and then I'll get back to the new home sales. But the National Association of Home Builders, home building geography.
No, geography is way better. Let's go home building geography.
I've been so good. I used to always say
economist,
economist. I mean, kind of on purpose, but then after a while, that's just
first
how I said
time it was by mistake, but then from then on, it became on purpose. So
yeah, and I fixed that. Now I'm saying geography. So anyway, home building geography index found that during the third quarter, the exodus from big cities to the suburbs, or the burbs, to follow along with our thumbnail, from the cities to the burbs and less expensive areas increased as people continue to work remotely, which is what Ray was just mentioning. According to the HBGI, which that's a thing, suburbs of medium-sized cities posted the greatest single-family gains in quarter number 3, as there was 15% growth rate over the last 4 quarters. Wow. I mean, think about that, like just on a national scale. 15% is such a, like, leaving a city and going to, to the burbs. It's just, that's a big chunk. So the worst performing regions were large metro urban cores with a 5.7% gain. The report showed that single family construction in second home markets expanded at a 13.6% average rate over the last 4 quarters, compared to a 10.5% pace in other counties. This is a quote from Chuck Folk, and he is the NAHB chairman. The growing demand in lower density markets stems from the fact that housing is less expensive compared to urban areas, and buyers can afford larger homes to accommodate home offices, exercise rooms, and other specialty rooms, which are in higher demand since the Rona. He goes on to say, however, builders continue to deal with affordability headwinds on the supply side front, including the cost and availability of building materials. So the article also does note that the Commerce Department has recently reduced duties on softwood lumber shipments from Canada to the U.S. from more than 20% down to 9%. So moves are being made to help alleviate this pressure. And then Folk goes on to say tariffs have contributed to unprecedented price volatility in the lumber market in 2020, leading to upward pressure on prices and harming housing affordability for American consumers. And then he continues with, the U.S. needs to work with Canada to end the tariffs and achieve a long-term stable solution in lumber trade that provides for a consistent and fairly priced supply of lumber. So he also mentions in the article the what did we cover, Ray, 2 weeks ago? The home builder confidence at 90 something. He mentions that that's way up, so they're ready to go, and they are catching up. We can kind of see gains being made and catching up and having enough homes available, but then they keep running into, what do you always say, the land, labor, and materials.
Mm-hmm. I just put a link to the HBGI, the Home Building Geography Index, in the comments for you guys to look up. There's a lot of cool stats, facts, charts. Let me put this on the screen so you guys.
Now, for me here in California, new home construction is different, or new home purchases. I don't do a lot of new homes. I don't help a lot of buyers buy new construction. A lot of times there's going to be an HOA, and we have a thing called Melrose, which is a special assessment tax. So it's not that they're there, not that people don't buy them. Because you're not supposed to steer. So for those new agents watching, by the way, do not steer your clients to or away from anything. And you can be steering without knowing it. So you just have to make your search based on what they're looking for. But I don't get the request for new construction. I mean, it's rare for me, and I do help a lot of buyers. So it is different here, but nationally, this would be a good stat for you guys to know that, hey, if you have those buyers that are waiting, they're trying to get into those lower end and mid-range areas.
Melissa Mars said, I went to a new Dr. Horton.
I knew.
I get a kick out of it every time. Sorry. Okay, I'll read.
He's
it
an
right
orthodontist.
I went to a new DR Horton development and had the lumber price convo with their rep. She basically said, yes, it's a thing and it kind of sucks for build time, but people are still snapping up the higher prices. So basically they're raising their price in order to make up for the materials cost.
Yeah. And then I have a stat. And again, after the next story, I have a stat that's very, very interesting as far as pricing goes on new construction versus resale.
Yeah, I probably should have put those in different order. So here's a look at the HBGI index, and here's some of the cool graphs.
These things, and the article does too. It breaks down by region and what's doing what. So if you really want to know what's going on by county, I mean, it breaks it down to county and city. You can go check these things out. I highly recommend it just for knowledge. But again, if you are not the data nerd that Ray and I are, then we will do it for you.
Or maybe you're like, you know what? I'm really interested in non-metro micro county data.
Look at that. Oh my gosh.
There you go. Just
wow, you. They have a stat for me.
Yeah. Total population is 18 million. It's 5.6% of the total population, 4.9% of single family construction, third quarter, 20.9% single family quarterly growth rate for the third quarter.
Dude, I'm so happy right now. I'm like smiling like just a dill hole right now. I'm so happy with these numbers. It's crazy to see. Yeah. I don't know why this is so exciting to me. Numbers.
There you go. Ryan Bokeros from YouTube says, we've seen upwards of 10% increase by some builders due to lumber. Also have a few builders here reduce agent commission to offset it. Ooh, that's not the way to do. David Fresco says, when I was a builder rep, oftentimes clients would stumble in and not know it was even there. What do you mean not know what was even there?
The model homes or so? Oh, wow. These are homes. Let's go look at them.
Or the Melrose. Maybe he was talking about the Melrose.
Yeah,
probably.
Melrose isn't a widely known thing. I've brought it up 100 times on the show, but
I still think it sounds like a good bar or a drink or something like that.
Oh, I'm working on it. Welcome to the Melrose.
Doesn't it? It just sounds so good.
But I'll spell it like MELLOWRUSE. It's just a Melrose.